This is a stimulus update and daily news report. There is so much news to cover in this video. So when it comes to the unemployment extension, with around 9 million people about to lose their federal unemployment benefits this weekend, I'll let you know what's going on of whether or not it's going to be extended, who's for it, who's against it, and the latest state that just ruled against reenacting the $300 per week unemployment boost. We'll go over this article right here. With the Delta variant surging, will there be a fourth stimulus check? We'll talk about the eviction moratorium and how the White House responded to the question of whether or not the eviction moratorium can be extended again. Also, there is a new bill that has just been backed by Nancy Pelosi to expedite the rental assistance money out to more people. We'll go over the latest statements from President Biden about the U.S. officially leaving Afghanistan, and I'll give you some other more important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. If you appreciate these fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So the FDA sees growing pressure to authorize vaccines for children under 12. At this point, any kids under 12 are not allowed to take the vaccine, but it looks like that might change soon. So Pfizer director Dr. Scott Gottlieb says COVID vaccine for kids 5 to 11 could come by winter, saying that the drug regulators to clear Pfizer vaccine for emergency use in children ages 5 to 11 either in late fall or early winter of this year. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Should kids age 5 to 11 be approved to take the vaccine? Is this a good idea, bad idea? Will this help the school system, hurt the school system, and all the craziness going on? Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. Next, let's go over this question right here in this article. So, with the Delta variant surging, will there be a fourth stimulus check? So, if we look at what's going on with cases right now, August 30th, there was 280,000 cases reported, which is pretty high if you look at all the numbers over here. When the third stimulus check came about, it was around here at this surge, end of December. There was around maybe 250,000 cases, and that's when the second stimulus check came about for $600, and then the third stimulus check for $1,400 came about in March. So the big question is, with the surge coming, is there going to be a fourth stimulus check? Well, in order for a fourth stimulus check to happen, it would have to be introduced into that $3.5 trillion package that has a lot of stimulus provisions in it. At this point, it's still kind of a mystery. We don't know what's in it. We're waiting to hear the details. In terms of a fourth stimulus check, we haven't had any word that it is officially in there yet. But when it comes to can they afford it? I came across this article. This came out a little while ago, but it's saying the war in Afghanistan cost America $300 million per day for 20 years, with big bills yet to come. So $300 million a day for 20 years. And what came out of that? After the trillions of dollars spent, was anything gained? If we were to do this all over again, imagine if that $300 million per day was used for actual Americans in America. We could have easily had a much different lifestyle in America for Americans, and we probably wouldn't even need stimulus checks at this point if that money was just reinvested in America and helping out our most poor. Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. When it comes to other stimulus checks, so state stimulus checks arrive in California's bank accounts ahead of recall election. So far, California has issued 600,000 direct payments in first batch of new Golden State stimulus checks. So this just came out yesterday. First batch of $600,000 totaling in $354 million was directly deposited Friday, and the state will send out checks to other taxpayers every 2 weeks. So this is for people making between $30,000 and $75,000. Next, let's talk about homes and the eviction moratorium, then we'll get into unemployment in Afghanistan. So when it comes to home prices rose 18.6% annually in June, a third straight record high. So home prices have been really, really high lately. And if you're looking to buy a house, now might not be the best time, but as we all know, whatever comes up must come down. And probably the catalyst right now is the eviction moratorium, and that expiring. We're probably going to see a big change in the real estate market. At least that's what I think. The White House was asked whether or not the eviction moratorium was going to be extended. This is the White House press secretary's response to that question.
The question is about American families. 7.5 million Americans are set to lose unemployment benefits next month, not just their federal supplement, but all benefits. Given the expiration of the eviction moratorium, what's going on with the Delta variant, has the president considered asking Congress to extend those benefits further?
Well, if Congress were to vote to extend the eviction moratorium, the president would sign that into law, and he'd be happy to do that.
The benefits, the unemployment benefits.
Look, I think he made a decision based on where things stand in our economic recovery at this point in time. There's additional assistance that continues to go out to people across the country, which you are very familiar with and know well, whether it's the child tax credit or additional funding that is still being distributed by the American Rescue Plan. Our objective continues to be to work with states and localities to keep people in their homes, make sure people have the assistance they need. That's why there is a range of programs and a range of assistance the president advocated for, fought like hell for, and signed into law that is going to be implemented over the course of the next year and not just ending this summer. Go ahead.
So basically, Jen Psaki, the White House press secretary, said that there is not going to be an extension of the eviction moratorium, and that it's up to Congress. If they want to put something forward, then the president would be happy to sign it. Basically saying it's up to Congress, not the president. The president already did enough with the CDC and tried to extend that, and the Supreme Court ruled against it. In order for the eviction moratorium to be extended, it would have to be in Congress. Now, the big problem here is all that rental assistance money that did not go out yet. The $46 billion, and only 11% has been distributed. So one way to combat that is Nancy Pelosi backs bill to expedite rental aid after eviction rulings. So there is this new bill to expedite all that money to go to landlords and renters. Basically right here, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is throwing support behind legislation aiming to expedite federal rental aid to tenants and landlords, an issue that has taken on particular urgency for Democrats after a recent Supreme Court ruling that struck down the Biden administration's eviction moratorium. Pelosi on Monday lauded the efforts by Financial Services Committee Chairwoman Maxine Waters in seeking to reform a nationwide emergency rental assistance program, as state and local governments have been slow to distribute federal aid amid a housing crisis that has worsened amid the pandemic. So basically with this bill, it'll expedite that money going out, but is it too late? And how will this money go out? It doesn't really say how this money will go out faster. They've already had several months since the second stimulus check package for that money, the rental assistance money, to go out, but yet it's just not going anywhere. There's still around $40 billion in rental assistance. So although I think this is a great effort, I just don't see how the money will go out faster. It does need to go out faster. Moving on, let's talk about unemployment. So millions of Americans will lose unemployment benefits this weekend. So federal unemployment programs in place since March of 2020 will end this weekend in all states. So there was around 26 states that ended it. A few of them got it reinstated for that $300 per week unemployment boost. And it looks like they're all going to end officially September 6th. The big question is, will it be extended? So almost 9 million Americans will lose benefits entirely, and another 3 million or so will see aid reduced by $300 per week. So it's just the federal $300 per week boost that's going to be ended. State unemployment aid will still continue with that. Pandemic unemployment benefits end in September, and states are not extending them. So officially there are no states that are going to extend that unemployment boost. It's not happening from Congress. It's not happening from the president. So it looks like when it comes to any $300 per week being extended, doesn't look like it's happening now. Even though the states have the ability to, they could use their own money. No states are extending it. So it looks like unemployment is going to officially end now, coming in September. Well, now that it's September now. When it comes to probably the last judgment, so Florida judge denies request to reinstate federal unemployment benefits. This is probably the last ruling because federal unemployment benefits are ending right now. So there's probably not going to be any more rulings. I think there might be 2 or 3 other lawsuits going on, but none of them are saying that they want to be paid retroactively. So it looks like this is the last ruling, and it looks like unemployment in general is going to end. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Should it be extended, or you think it now is a good time to end? Let me know your thoughts on that. Next, when it comes to who is for it, who is against it, which Democrats are pushing to extend unemployment benefits. So there are a handful of progressives that are trying to extend the federal unemployment benefits. They were successful with extending the eviction moratorium, although that got cut early, about halfway. That was supposed to be extended for 60 days. That got cut. Will there be an extension of unemployment benefits? It doesn't seem like there's enough support. The House progressives are for it, but if it were ever to go to the Senate, it looks like the Senate, there's just not enough support for the federal unemployment benefits. So it looks like it is going to end. Next, let's talk about what's going on with Afghanistan. So the last military planes have left Afghanistan as of yesterday, August 31st. And which is marking the end of the United States' longest war. So looks like 2 decades, trillions of dollars later, the U.S. is officially out of Afghanistan. I have seen some stories where there's maybe a couple of hundred Americans still in Afghanistan, but somehow there's ways that they're going to get them out. But in terms of military presence, the U.S. is officially out of Afghanistan. Let me know your thoughts on that. Is this a good thing, bad thing? Here's President Biden giving his last remarks about this big story.
The extraordinary success of this mission was due to the incredible skill, bravery, and selfless courage of the United States military and our diplomats and intelligence professionals. For weeks, they risked their lives to get American citizens, Afghans who helped us, citizens of our allies and partners and others on board planes and out of the country. And they did it facing a crush of enormous crowds seeking to leave the country. And they did it knowing ISIS-K terrorists, sworn enemies of the Taliban, were lurking in the midst of those crowds. And still, the women and men of the United States military, our diplomatic corps, and intelligence professionals did their job and did it well, risking their lives, not for professional gains, but to serve others, not in a mission of war, but in a mission of mercy. 20 service members were wounded in the service of this mission. 13 heroes gave their lives. I was just at Dover Air Force Base for the dignified transfer. We owe them and their families a debt of gratitude we can never repay, but we should never, ever, ever forget. In April, I made a decision to end this war. As part of that decision, we set the date of August 31st for American troops to withdraw. The assumption was that more than 300,000 Afghan national security forces that we had trained over the past 2 decades and equipped would be a strong adversary in their civil wars with the Taliban. That assumption that the Afghan government would be able to hold on for a period of time beyond military drawdown turned out not to be accurate. But I still instructed our national security team to prepare for every eventuality, even that one. And that's what we did. So we were ready when the Afghan security forces, after 2 decades of fighting for their country and losing thousands of their own, did not hold on as long as anyone expected. We were ready when they and the people of Afghanistan watched their own government collapse and their president flee amid the corruption and malfeasance, handing over the country to their enemy, the Taliban, and significantly increasing the risk to U.S. personnel and our allies. As a result, to safely extract American citizens before August 31st, as well as embassy personnel, allies and partners, and those Afghans who had worked with us and fought alongside of us for 20 years, I had authorized 6,000 troops, American troops, to Kabul to help secure the airport. As General McKenzie said, this is the way the mission was designed. It was designed to operate under severe stress and attack And that's what it did.
So what are your thoughts on the U.S. finally leaving Afghanistan after 20 years? Is this a good thing, bad thing? How could this have been done differently, since President Biden is getting a lot of criticism of how he handled it? What would have been the best way to do it? Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. And that is all the stimulus news I have for you today. To hopefully cheer you up a bit, here is my 8-year-old daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, I want to tell you the one thing that you can do to yourself. Be kind, be smart, and also you have to be kind to your mom, your daddy, or your brother, or sister, or anything that you want. And also you have to be kind to yourself.
Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all your support. So yeah, we're still in Florida for the next couple days. Then we're actually gonna go back up to Georgia, then back to South Carolina. This is to celebrate Bella's 8th birthday. And thank you so much for all the birthday wishes the other day. I read them to Bella. She was so happy about it. Yeah, so we're just enjoying the port that we're at with a bunch of boats. It's really nice here. I'll turn this around for you so you could see what it looks like. Let's see, doing this live here. Probably should have planned this, but that's what it looks like. Yeah, so anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna try to crank out these videos for you, give you all these updates, and yeah, still have fun with my family at the same time. I hope you're enjoying your day. If you want to check out any of my other videos, you could click up here for more stimulus updates, or down here for my other stimulus updates, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.